The tape sat silent on the dusty shelf of the old radio shop, its black casing cracked and battered with age. No one noticed it at first, just another relic among countless broken radios and forgotten electronics. But that changed when Emma, a curious 17-year-old with a penchant for vintage instruments, wandered into Mr. Calloway's shop one rainy afternoon. She had always been drawn to stories of lost media, whispers of unbroadcast programs and hidden recordings. When her eyes landed on the dusty tape, something about it called to her. The label was faded, but she could read the scribbled handwriting. Unaired audio, do not play. Her fingertips tingled as she hesitated, then shrugged. If not now, when? That night, her curiosity overcame her caution. She packed her tape recorder, her phone, and the old tape. Her room was cluttered with posters, books, and tangled cords, only an inviting space for a late-night experiment. Emma inserted the tape into her recorder and pressed play. The room grew silent at first, but then a faint static crackled, gradually giving way to a distorted voice. It was faint, almost unrecognizable, like a radio signal caught in a storm. A young woman's voice, whispering hurriedly. "Hello? If you're hearing this, I'm sorry. I didn't want to come here. They told me to stay quiet, but I can't anymore." The voice cut off abruptly, replaced by a strange noise, like a screeching, metallic scream, before resuming. Emma's eyes widened. The voice seemed frantic, desperate, as if the woman was pleading for help. "Please, listen to me. If you find this tape, you must delete it. Do not listen to the rest. They're watching. Always watching. I thought I was alone, but I was wrong. Something's here, something not human. It's been watching us, stalking us through static and shadows." The recording paused, then continued with an even more tremulous voice. "They say I can't leave. That I'm part of it now. If you keep listening, don't let it find you." Emma's fingers froze as a chilling realization crept in. The voice sounded familiar, haunted, as if from a nightmare she'd heard in childhood. But she shook her head, dismissing superstition. Maybe it was just a recording gone wrong, some horror prank. Then, next came the sounds. Unnatural whispers layered over each other, distorted, unintelligible yet undeniably disturbing. The voices seemed to overlap and multiply, like a choir drowned in static. Suddenly, a high-pitched shriek pierced through. The voice cut off mid-sentence, replaced by a guttural growling noise. It was as if something was trying to break into her world through the tape itself. Emma's heart pounded. She wanted to stop, to turn off the recorder and forget it all. But her hand was frozen. The tape glitched, random lines of audio warping, scratchy and warped. Then the voice, her voice, came, but not quite. It was a whisper, very close. "You shouldn't have played it," it said, cold and deliberate. "Now, I see you." Emma stared at her device. Her room felt colder, darker. Shadows draped over her walls, shifting and twitching like living things. For a moment, she thought she saw a form trembling behind her window, eyes glinting in the darkness. A sudden static burst echoed in her ears, deafening. The tape recorder flickered, then went dead. Emma was left in silence, trembling. Her phone showed no signal, no way to call for help. She looked around, heart hammering. Her clock read 3:13 a.m. As she reached to turn off the recorder, she noticed it was blinking, like someone, or something, was trying to communicate through it. Then, she heard it, the faintest whisper, coming from the device. "You shouldn't be here." Emma's skin crawled. She backed away, knocking over a pile of books. The shadows in her room twisted into figures, towering, grotesque. The whispers grew louder, overlapping into an unearthly chorus. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the room fell into darkness. Her breath caught in her throat as a cold, clammy hand seemed to brush her shoulder. She wanted to scream, to run, but her body betrayed her. Fear rooted her in place as the whispering faded into silence. The device in her hand was dead, yet she could feel something watching her, alive and eager. In a split second, the darkness lifted. The room was empty again. Emma stood alone, gasping, clutching the recorder like a lifeline. When she looked at her phone, the screen flickered, then went black. The next morning, Emma's parents found her in her room, shivering and pale. She couldn't speak. Her eyes darted around wildly, as if she'd seen something terrible. The tape recorder was gone. Days later, Emma tried to tell her story, but no one believed her. She kept the tape hidden, afraid of what might happen if it was ever played again. Until one night, she heard the static, faint, insistent. A whisper. You shouldn't have deleted it.